Hey, it's Lee, and I'm here with another pizza review, and I'm pretty pumped about this one. I've had something like this years ago, and I remember it being pretty good, so I'm hoping it's still that good. This is Mike's, and it's a four-cheese stuffed crust pizza. For those of you who don't know, Mike's is actually a Quebec-based restaurant chain. They do Italian foods. They do pizza. For Canadians, at least, you'll think of East Side Mario's. For Americans, probably Olive Garden for a similar comp. Mike's is certainly, from a pizza standpoint, much better than than East Side Mario's, I would say. They make a pretty decent pie if you order it from them and get it delivered. And their foods in general is a little bit better than East Side Mario. So for Canadians, if you have a chance, try Mike's. It's a chain, but it's certainly much better than other chains that we have. I've never had Olive Garden, or sorry, I'm lying. I had Olive Garden when I was like 8 years old, but it's not in Canada anymore, so I'm not too knowledgeable on that front. This pizza, I believe they only started doing stuffed crust for their frozen pizzas recently. They've done them, you can order them in that way, but yeah, they only did the stuffed crust recently for frozen pizzas, I believe. So this pizza is heavy. It is 793 grams, so that's 1.5 pounds essentially. And if we look at the instructions, it's basically saying that there's a piece of paper in here, and we're going to put it in at 425 for 18 to 23 minutes. So it's going to take a little while, but this should be pretty good. I'm kind of excited about it. Stuffed crust. I love stuffed crust in general, and one of my highest rated pizzas was a stuffed crust pizza. This is a 4-cheese pizza. The other one was a pepperoni pizza, so whatever. We'll have a comparison. So I will take it out of the box, and we'll take a look at it before it goes in the oven. All right, the pizza's out, and I left a little bit of the wrapper on because I wanted to show this. This is a little bit of a bonus to me. They have a similar plastic thing to the old Delicio thing where it's essentially like a zipper. It's not a zipper, but it feels like a zipper when you undo the plastic, like it just kind of undoes itself like that. I love that. Just going to toss that out there. I hate not having to deal with a kind of stubborn plastic thing. As far as this pizza is concerned, the cheese coverage looks awesome on here. Look at, you cannot see any sauce unless you look at the edges. This big chunk of cheese was sitting on the side. We put it on top there just for the sake of getting it in. Yeah, this looks great. 4-cheese pizzas should look like this. I've had some mixed reviews of 4-cheese pizzas. I find sometimes they lack a little bit of salt, a little bit of flavor, which is weird because I find that when I just get mozzarella and another thing, the mozzarella tastes great. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, this is looking very promising. All right, the pizza's out of the oven. And what do we see here? There's a little mea culpa thing going on here. I didn't wait long enough for the oven to preheat, I think. And one of the ways my oven preheats is that the broiler goes on. So when I tossed this pizza in, the broiler was actually kind of on, which is why I believe the center of this pizza is a little bit overcooked. I'm kind of excited about it. I actually don't think that'll hurt in any way. I think it'll probably improve the pizza. But, like, it's not burnt. It's just a little bit crispy. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to have to keep that in mind. If the middle part is kind of gross, I might have to kind of just factor that into my score, because that's on me. That's not on the brand. I did almost screw something up because I couldn't find... I thought there was like a disc in here that I was supposed to put pizza on. And then turns out it was a piece of wax paper that was folded, and I did find that. So I almost put the pizza in without the wax paper, but I did manage to get it in just at the last second, so that's good. Or parchment paper, I should say. So yeah, let's go and cut into this and see what we can see. All right. Feels like the base is crispy enough. Oh, I just hit the camera. Makes it feel more real. It's cutting pretty easily. I don't think it's as crispy as I thought it was. I cooked this Because the top was getting a little overdone, I was a little bit afraid. I cooked this about 19 and a half minutes, and it suggests 18 to 22, so I'm well within the range, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's cheese in the crust there. This is looking all right. I'm trying to decide which piece I'm going to eat. I think this one right here looks kind of like fair. It's a little bit thicker than these two over here, but it's not quite as thick as these over here. It's got this crispy bit. It's not quite as big, so I should have a little bit more of an accurate representation. So I think that's the piece I'm going to eat. I will shut this off for a minute, and yeah, we'll take a look. The cheese coverage still looks good. It looks like it faded a little bit near the crust, so I don't know. Let's give it a shot and tell you how it tastes in two minutes or so. All right. I have tried the pizza and I have a review ready. We'll start with the cheese. This overcooking, I'm not sure it did anything bad because, you know, it gives a texture. Flavor-wise, I find these 4 cheese blends just don't do it for me. I don't know. I need that little dollop of blue cheese from the other cheese pizza there. Something weird. There's just a lack of salt in general. The only salt I get out of this is actually the salt in the stuffed crust. The cheese in the stuffed crust is actually salty. It's not significant, especially from a texture standpoint, but there is some saltiness in the crust, and that's really nice. The biggest disparity between this and its kind of real-life version, or like directly from the restaurant, is the crust. This definitely tastes like a frozen pizza crust. Whereas if you get it from the restaurant, the crust is really nice. It's usually softer. This is more like crackery, whereas the real crust is a little bit more bready. Not bad, but just nothing special. The amount of cheese is reasonable. I think that's completely fair. I will say that the best part about this pizza is the amount of sauce they put on it. This is a saucy pizza. And when it comes to frozen pizzas, I find that they are almost universally undersauced, and I would say that this is just about perfect. Now, if you eat this straight out of the oven, it's too saucy because you'll burn your mouth, which is what I did. But if you let it sit for a couple minutes, it feels like it's the perfect amount of sauce, and the sauce does have a little bit of flavor. So it's a super impactful ingredient on this pizza. I think it makes this pizza kind of go up a level pretty significantly. If the sauce was boring and if there wasn't much of it, I might rate this in the 6.5 to 7 range. But I think because of the sauce, the amount of sauce, and everything else being at least adequate, I'm going to give this a flat 8.0. I think I could use the props, I guess, now. 5 over here, 3 over here. Done. Yeah, the fact that this pizza has enough sauce really saves it. Because everything else is just kind of okay. And then you get this burst of flavor from the sauce and you go like, okay, this is better than normal. So yeah, 8 out of 10. That was Mike's 4 cheese pizza. I do hope, and with stuffed crust, I should say. And I do hope to try the pepperoni version soon. All right, thanks for watching.